All right, guys, we're going to get started. We're able to all rise for a pledge of allegiance. Are we ready to get started? All right, we're going to start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. Does anyone want to lead us in today's pledge? Rick?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Rick. All right, we're going to start with a roll call. If all board members could raise their hand. We have me, we have Leanne, we have Gary, we have Chase. Oh, and Teddy, sorry, I missed you over there. All right, and then we'll start with, can we get an approval of the May meeting minutes? Does anyone want to make a motion? Gary makes a motion. Do we have a second? Awesome, we have a second. Cindy? And then we have an adoption of the agenda. Were there any questions on the agenda this month? All right, can we get a motion to adopt the agenda? Gary again. Anyone second? We have Rick Meter as well. We have an approval of the treasurer's report. I don't know if we have a treasurer's report quite yet, if we haven't seen John. He's supposed to be here today. We'll skip that one. We'll circle back. As far as community reports, looks like we don't seem to have any of our first responders here today. Do we have anyone from either of the schools? Today might be a light meeting. We do have someone from CRC. Would you like to talk?
Sure.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Michelle Miller. I'm the Service Area Coordinator for Mt.Washington Recreation Center. Our summer's in full swing. If you have kids registered at Mt.Washington or Sands Montessori schools, we are. Our after-school day camp and before-school day camp is already open for registration. And those spots are filling quickly. So if you need childcare before or after school for Mt.Washington or Sands, please get on the cincyrec.org website to sign up for school programs or after school programs. And I think that's about all I have for you. Any questions for recreation? Thank you.
Thank you. I see John's come, so we're going to circle back to that treasurer's report.
Okay, I'm going to talk while I pass some of these out. Sorry, 6 p.m. is kind of early. Sure. So the moral of the story as it relates to May for our treasurer's report is we received a check for $9,666 from the city of Cincinnati, which is really good news. That means that we can commence with NSP spending on our projects. The first project actually happened in April, so we got the money a little after the fact, but that's okay. So the first funds, the first reimbursement check went out in May. It hasn't actually been deposited yet, so I anticipate that we'll see that in the June report once this month is completed. That was for dumpster rentals for the cleanup day that happened in April. That's $400 and change, something around that. So that means we have $9,160 something left to spend for the rest of our projects this year. We'll continue working on moving those forward. Maybe Leanne has an update on that later, but that's the big update for Treasury in the month of May. The only other real activity that's on there to note is the reimbursement for pumpkin chuck expenses for the fire inspection. I think I talked about that a couple months back, that check for us to pay SPAC half of that fee, $400, the $200 check to SPAC went out in May. Any questions on our budget, where we're at in the year? Other thoughts, musings on our financial situation? Okay. Would anyone like to make a motion to approve the May Treasurer's report? Teddy, is there a second? Okay, Gary. All those in favor? Any opposed? All right, thank you.
Thank you, John. Next, we are going to MWCURC. I see you over here.
Hi, the big thing with MWCRC is the parade. I've passed down on everybody's table all about the parade. If you want to enter the parade, there's an entry form on it. The new map is on it. It has, we started out Washington School, go up, Mears, turn left on Beachmont, go all the way down, turn left on Oxford, and on Corley, then you go to Oxford, and the party is at the end. There will be a party, a lot of games and things, but that's being put on by Stanberry. But MWCRC is in charge of it. The Roses will be there, Snowy will be there, Dunkin' Donuts will be there, and anybody who participates will get different coupons or something, and then we will also, if you need more than what we get free, we will be selling the pizza and the Snowies, the Dunkin' is strictly Dunkin' Homes, and Kroger's is giving us water for that. The flag will be up by the middle of next week, and that's thanks to Fourth Bank, Daryl, a citizen, and TP White. They paid for all of that. Anybody who would like brick, it's going to be 5.5 inches tall, 11 inches wide, and you can put up to 3 lines on the brick. And each brick's $100, but it'll be mounted around the new flag post. As you know, those folks who I usually ask for sponsors, I couldn't go back and ask for more money, but 484 is going to do a 21 gun salute, and there'll be a couple speakers at 7 o'clock. And the parade itself will be announcing the winners of the kids and the adult type contest. Dunkin' Donuts was kind enough to give me $200 worth of gift certificates besides that, plus cash. So we'll have some nice prizes there.
Can't hear you back here at all.
You can't hear? Sorry, me and Mike don't get along. Okay. Basically, the parade's July 3rd, 5:30, goes from Mears up to Beachmont to Corbley, and down to Oxford to Stanberry Park. And at the end of there, you will have some games and things that SPAC's putting on. We'll have La Rosa Pizza, donut holes for this and Snowy, and it'll all be special price for that night. And people participating will receive coupons to receive some of this stuff at no cost. So basically, a person would get 1 piece of pizza free, but if they wanted to, they'd pay the $2 a piece for the extra pizza. Same with Snowy, whatever price they come up with, but participants will get a Snowy, and then we'll have Dunkin' we'll pass them out with water as long as they last. And the big thing is, it's kind of a nice thing that if you buy a brick, it helps support the flagpole. And the bricks are $100, but they're 11 inches wide, 5.5 inches, and they're engraved with like your name, a year, whatever you wish to put onto the brick. So if you want to order one, you're welcome. Just tell me your name, and we'll get a hold of you when we get our forms together to get that out. So, I think that's everything with that.
All right, thank you, Bob. Do we have anybody from the Mt.Washington CDC here today? I don't think so, so we'll move on. Is there anyone from the SPAC here today?
I can answer facts.
All right, Bob's able to answer for SPAC, we can do that.
Okay. They have a meeting. I thought their meeting was before this one, so yes, it wasn't here. I don't know where it is. But SPAC has games planned and all types of little things with bicentennial. They've got a band and things for the night of the parade. So it'll be a very nice evening, and that'll go after the parade up till 9 o'clock. But they're working hard on getting these games and everything together. And that's all I really know. That's where we're at.
Thank you. And then next we will have the American Legion, booth 48.
Hello. Our next charity concert will be Thursday, the 25th, it's a week from tomorrow. And the organization that they'll be raising money for is the Tender Mercies organization. And folks, my heart and soul is with this organization. Tender Mercies provides housing and support for homeless adults with mental illnesses. They do fantastic work. The concert doors open at 7, it goes to 10. Even if you don't want to listen to the music and have a drink, pop in, put a couple bucks in a contribution bucket. This organization just does wonderful work, so come support them. Also, don't forget the second Monday of every month is the Big Band, our most popular event. It's a 17-piece instrumental with a female vocal, and as an old high school and college band geek, they really are good. So come and take that in. Again, the second Monday of every month starts at 6 p.m.
Thank you, Rick. All right, on to our general business. To start out, we have a presentation from the city about Cincinnati 311 and 911 information.
All righty. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. My name is Nathan. I help run our community engagement and public information programs for the Cincinnati Emergency Communications Center. So for those of you who may not be super familiar with our agency, we house both 311 and 911, the city call centers in the ECC. So all in one building, anything from potholes to yard waste to trash pickup to police, fire, medical emergencies. We're the folks that you call 24/7 to get you the help that you need. So today I wanted to share some exciting updates that we have from the agency, some news, some things that we've changed, some things that we've accomplished so far this year, but also some programs that are free, that help you be proactive, help you stay informed, and help keep the community safe throughout the year. And so we're trying to stress some of these programs more. I want to tell you a bit about them, why you benefit from enrolling in them and participating in them. And if you have any questions about anything that I talk about today. We'd love to have that conversation with you all tonight as well. So these programs, we'll start out with Smart 911. Smart 911 is a free app, also a website that you can use if you don't like downloading 50 apps to your phone at a time, where you can go in and create a safety profile with information about your household, about yourself, if you have any medical conditions, allergies, if you have any mobility impairments, if you got any young folks in the home, older folks in the home, pets in the home, information about your car, the car you drive, common addresses that you're at. This is all information that will be transmitted to our 911 call takers in the event that you ever have to call 911. So if you're in a situation where you call 911 and for whatever reason it's unsafe to speak, you can't speak, your phone gets disconnected, your phone dies, our call takers already have that profile on their screen of the information that you provided, so we can get help to you as soon as possible. Like I said, this is free. It takes 5-10 minutes to create a profile. You can add as many members to your household as you want that are covered under this safety profile. So we really strongly encourage you all to take that step, at least check it out and see if it would be something you're interested in being proactive before something bad happens. So, next, I want to talk about text and 911 services. So not every city has text and 911 capabilities yet in the United States. Cincinnati does. So again, if you're ever in a situation where you're unable to speak, it's unsafe to speak, or texting is just the easiest way to communicate with someone, you can text 911 the address of the emergency or where you need help, and a brief description of what's going on. If it's safe to speak at a later time, we can call you, or we can ask if we can call you to get more information. But in the meantime, we're sending folks out to you. If we know where you're at, we can send folks out to get you some help. So you can always text if you're unable to, or it's unsafe to speak. And lastly, this covers more of our non-emergency information, but emergency information as well is transmitted through Cincy Alert. So Cincy Alert has been around for a couple years, but this year we're really expanding what we're using it for. We're trying to get more folks signed up with this system. So with all the construction that's going to be happening around the city, with big events that are coming to town this year, there's Oktoberfest, Blink, we've already had Taste of Cincinnati, the Flying Pig. We're trying to get information out to folks about anything that could disrupt your commute, disrupt your normal day-to-day in the city, and of course safety information. If there's ever severe weather or an event that would disrupt those events, we want to make sure information is sent out to you. In Cincy Alert, you can customize how you get alerts from the city through email, text, voicemail messages, recorded voicemail messages, or Smart 911 app notifications. So Cincy Alert and Smart 911 are actually connected to each other. I'll give you an example of what we use this already for. In Taste of Cincinnati, I believe the first day of the festival, there was a concert scheduled for that first day. And if anyone remembers, there was a really bad thunderstorm that came through the beginning of the afternoon. So we had to delay that concert and we had to tell people, hey, if you're here in this area, there's a thunderstorm moving through, take precautions and be safe. The concert and festivities will take place at this new time. And we sent that out via Cincy Alert. We've also used this to update folks about city services. So this past winter, we had a ton of snow and some really brutally cold temperatures. We had to delay curbside collections a couple of days, and we sent that information out through Cincy Alert. So if you want to be in the know and be the first to know about these delays and this piece of information, strongly encourage you to check out Cincy Alert and sign up for those alerts. That was a lot, but just want to stop there for a second, ask if anyone has questions or has used any of these in the past yet.
Question, will a Cincy Alert be sent out when the answers are town? That's my question.
So the city sends press releases out when those road closures happen because we get notified a certain amount of time ahead of time. In one of the categories you can sign up for is Cincy Alert city press releases. So we're working on getting that notification out.
Any other questions? I have a question.
Yeah.
So with 311, I think one thing that I've heard a lot of concerns about here are different traffic concerns, whether it's wanting speed bumps or stop lights or anything, or requesting crosswalks. Are you able to speak anything about that or how 311 can relate to that?
So you can request a traffic study for a particular intersection or stretch of road that's done through the Department of Transportation and Engineering. So you'll give us a call, give us information about where on the road, what intersection that you're concerned about, and we'll get that information over to the Department of Transportation and Engineering, and they'll get that traffic study process started. So 311 ourselves, we're the intake, we're the first piece of the puzzle there. We won't be the ones going out and surveying and seeing what that would look like, but we can get that process started for you. So you can give us a call and absolutely ask for this.
Awesome, thank you. Ooh, I think we do have some questions now.
I hesitate to bring this up and talk about it, but there was a broken utility pole at 1837. It had been hit by a car. And at least in my view, I think somewhere along the road, the process broke down. I turned it into 311. It does seem to be a very difficult process because Duke has to be notified, Ultra Fiber has to be notified, Spectrum. And through almost a 2-year process, I kind of feel like I became the project manager for this, calling the different. Last week, and I've been celebrating for over a week, the pole is gone. We finally got it taken down. But I think that there's something in the process, somewhere it slipped through the cracks. And so I'll just put that bug in your ear for broken utility poles that it sure didn't work this time.
No, we appreciate that feedback, and each department is responsible for the process that they need to take to complete those service requests. And something that we're able to do is take these pieces of feedback in these instances where it didn't work well and go to them and ask, not from a you messed up or this needs to change, but like what can we do to make it better? So we really appreciate that piece of feedback. I'll have to take that to my team, of course.
I think I saw another question back here. Yeah.
In my mom's area, they call it knockbox, but like a knockbox system, emergency access system for like elderly people, disabled people.
I'm unfamiliar with the exact program that might be referring to, but Smart 911 is it is really useful for instances there where either folks are hard of hearing or hard to reach the door or anything like that.
Yeah, this is basically access.
Access.
I mean, she lives in a secure condo building.
Yeah.
So the building management has them on every exterior door.
Okay.
And then she has one on her interior door by agreement, and they give like an information sheet that's posted on the refrigerator.
Yeah.
If she ever needs anything and somebody comes in and she's, gone unconscious or she can't, specifically answer questions, like my number is there and all things like that.
And I know each building that has those special systems usually send that to the fire department as well. And so our fire dispatchers will have those the building layouts even and be able to know what stairwell to go to or how to access the building. If you have like keypads or key codes to get into certain buildings or get into a building in general, you can put that in the Smart 911, and that way first responders can use that information to go and access the building. But any kind of set system that's run by the building manager, they should be in contact with the fire department. If they're not, we can reach out and make sure that
But then there's no outside of getting inside into the building, there's not individual access
Sure.
possibilities.
not that I'm aware of, but I can look into that and get you an answer.
Just
Yeah.
thanks.
Absolutely.
Actually, with the Knox boxes, you can purchase those yourself. My dad was living with me, I bought it. I was living in a different city at the time, but I talked to the fire chief. He came and put it in the box, they had it. When I changed my locks, I called them, they came out, and it's with the fire department, so they didn't get in. So you can purchase them if you want.
And I'm sure you could reach out for recommendations on the kinds of technology and the kinds of things to buy as well.
They're not cheap.
Sure.
And do we have any other questions? All right.
I do have a few other pieces I just wanted to run through,
Yeah,
real quick. So this first little check mark here on the flyer, the Emergency Communication Center is the city of Cincinnati's 911 call center. There's 911 call centers around the country or around the planet for every jurisdiction, right? So there is a accrediting organization that evaluates 911 call centers on the basis of the performance, on the training that we go through, the technology we use, how fast we're processing calls and things like that. We became in March the first accredited emergency police dispatch center in the state of Ohio, and also the first one in Kentucky, Michigan, West Virginia, and Indiana to earn the accreditation of emergency police dispatch. So that means that when you call, if you ever have to call 911, you can be assured that some of the top call takers in the region are working for the city of Cincinnati's Emergency Communication Center. We really take pride in our this achievement. It's taken us about 3.5 to 4 years to earn it. So something we're super proud of, and we're happy to share that with you all, that we've reached that milestone. The last two things here, we ran our 311 Cincy Citizens Academy in the spring. So in this program, we take folks over the course of 4 weeks, one night a week, behind the scenes of 311 service fulfillment. So like I said earlier, we're the intake, we're the first piece of the puzzle to get your issues resolved and hopefully have a good resolution to those. The other departments that we work with, that I mentioned earlier, Department of Public Services, Transportation Engineering, they come and help us and educate citizens on what does it actually look like when this work is done, and what does the pathway look like for these service requests to be fulfilled. So over the course of 4 weeks, we took folks and talked to folks in different departments, leadership in different departments, about why the systems work the way they do, how they can be better in the future, and that wrapped up in March. We are planning the first ever fall session of that academy in September. So applications for that will open in August or late July, early August. We'll send that information to you. But we're excited to do that 2 times a year now instead of 1, so we can more folks come and get that experience. And then last on this list, we launched our 311 chat assistant 24/7 website wide on the city of Cincinnati's official website. At the beginning of the year, we started out just business hours and just on our specific 311 website, just to test it out, make sure things were functioning properly. We eventually rolled it out citywide, and now it's open 24/7. So you can go on to any city website. You should have a little blue button in the bottom right page. You click it, and you can have kind of a text conversation to submit a service request. It'll help route it to the right person, to the right department, all while our call takers are seeing that go through and making sure that that's being routed to the right place. It will also make sure to flag anything emergency related. If you were to type fire or injury or anything like that, it's going to immediately tell you, I can't do that, you need to call 911. And if you don't call 911 after you type like fire or anything in that box, we will call you to make sure that everything's okay. Because we don't want anybody to think that they're getting emergency help in a non-emergency platform. So that's something we're excited to roll out, but it's still new technology. So we're asking for feedback and asking for your experience if you've used it, or if you do use it in the future, to let us know how that works. And on the back side of this flyer, I just wanted to provide some stats for you all from the 911 side of things and the 311 side of things, where I mentioned earlier there's different standards we're held to from that accreditation agency. One of those standards is answering calls quickly. And so over the past year, we've answered 97% of our 911 calls within 15 seconds. We're always making improvements to the ways that we do things and the priority channels that we use to answer calls. We don't want anyone to be waiting when they call 911, so we're proud that we are meeting that standard and exceeding it. The standard is 90%, we're at 97%. And just to give you a frame of reference of how many calls we receive each month, last month we received over 26,000 911 calls. And then just a little bit of a snapshot of the service requests submitted in Mt.Washington. So far from the beginning of the year to today, there's been 806 full item pickups and so on, the total of 2,419 service requests submitted in the neighborhood. Encourage everyone to use 311. I'd say to use as a resource. If you don't have time during your daily commute, if you see something wrong, snap a picture, give us a call. We really want to make sure those issues are resolved. We don't know that something is wrong until someone tells us about it. Let's seize it for ourselves. We do have community responders that are out there. You might have seen their trucks and their vehicles around that are 311 employees that go around and look for problems to report. But you guys are boots on the ground, our eyes in the skies to make sure that we have these issues reported and resolved and take care of it in a timely fashion. So I really appreciate everyone's time again. If you didn't get a flyer, this one is extra right here. I've got this little information cards as well for the 4 best numbers to know within the city. So 911 and 311, which I've just badgered you about for a long time, and then on the backside is 211 and 988, some other lines to know of in the city of Cincinnati. So I'll take these here in front. Anything about any of that? Yeah.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
You know, they're working on our street, Otsego. Today there was truck on this side, truck on that side. I could barely get through. They had to move the wheelbarrow. my hope, my concern is, what if fire is trying to get down that street? I mean, we have problems with people parking on both sides of the street. What, 3911, is that what we do?
Yeah.
11?
If you're ever concerned about if you're blocked, if there's a pathway that's blocked by a car and it's causing someone to not be able to leave their driveway or leave their home or leave their street, that's a 911 issue. It's causing immediate impact on someone's mobility, so that's an emergency situation. If it's a situation where you could foresee it happening, like it's tight and you think it'd be a problem, give 311 a call. We can get in touch with the contractor who's doing that work if it's not the city. And if it's the city, we can get in touch with them right away. So I recommend giving us a call, let us know what's going on, take some pictures next time you see them parked like that.
Would you recommend us also to call the 311 if, I mean, we have people on our street that live on our streets and everything, and they're speeding.
Sure.
And can we get those machines out there that says what the speed limit is or something? Because
You can ask for
that.
signs to be posted. There's traffic studies to potentially reduce the speed limit as well and get those signs updated. You can do that all through 311. So give us a call and let us know that's what you want to do, what you're interested in. And let us know the streets and all that kind of stuff. We'll get you.
Any other questions? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
Thank you. That's very useful information year round, but especially now leading up to the 4th of July, where unfortunately I know we do get an uptick in these emergency services. I really appreciate you coming in and speaking with us. So the next thing on our agenda is once again relates to traffic. So as I said, I've been kind of hearing that there's a lot of traffic concerns, so I've done a little bit of research and I found the Vision Zero safety map. So what this is it's a way to document safety concerns. So while 311 is where you report to actually make requests to get changes, what this is it's a crowdsourcing tool for data collection that the city then uses when they're evaluating what whether they're going to invest the money in either a safety study or speed humps, crosswalks, whatever. And so I passed out some flyers. We also have a lot more at the table that kind of give the information about how to navigate to it, a little instruction on how to use it. The QR code there will also take you to the site. But basically what this is you can go onto the map. You can either, if someone's already made that report, you will see a little emblem on the map. You can click on there and say that you also have this concern, and it'll increase the tally so that if more people are reporting that there's these issues in certain areas, then when the city does get around to looking at this issue, they can see, yes, people are reporting that this is an issue. And if the issue isn't already on the map, you can see a picture where I put on myself for a crosswalk at Courtly in Oxford. I don't know if any of you guys have walked that before, but it's definitely an intersection where people are going very fast and it can be hard to cross, so you can make your own reports as well. Like I said, it's not an immediate fix for them, but it is important to give this data to the city so that when they are looking at making these fixes, they can see that people are having that issue. Do we have any questions? All right, sounds good. Moving on. So last month we announced that we were starting a community engagement subcommittee. We're going to let people know about that again. If they do want to sign up, you can email info@mwcc.org, and that way you can let us know that you want to participate. One thing that I wanted to mention with the 4th of July parade coming up, we are going to be participating in that. So if you want to walk with the community council as part of the parade, let us know. And that could be a fun way to participate.
We need volunteers.
Yes, we do. We need volunteers. So that is where the priority is. The MWCURC does need volunteers to work the parade. So if you're open to doing that, then definitely reach out to Bob, as that is very important. Any questions there? Yes, Natalia.
If we want to volunteer for the parade, what
You have it right there.
Oh, and this, okay, perfect, thank you.
If you want to tell me tonight, feel free.
Any other questions? All right, also on your table, you will see a flyer for our quarterly happy hour. So we had our first one this spring. It was at Water Tower Wines, where we'll be having it again this in July. Last time we had it, it was a really big success. We had, I think, just over 20 people there. It's a mixture of faces that we see here a lot, as well as people that don't typically come to our meetings. And what I thought was really awesome was everybody there was conversating with everybody, getting to know people that they hadn't met or talked to before. It's going to be in July. As you guys may know, we in the past have never had a meeting in July for our normal general meeting. That's this meeting here. Instead, we will be having this happy hour, since that was an open slot that we assume most of you guys are available for. We make that easy for you guys. And we hope to see as many of you guys there as possible. Any questions with the happy hour?
That's 1 month from today.
Yes, it's 1 month from today, the third Wednesday in July.
Until they kick us out.
Yes, it is 6 until they kick us out. I think last time we went almost until 9 or so, but obviously not everybody stays that long. You don't need to stay the whole time. You can stay for however long you like. But it's a great time, so I hope to have everyone there. Any other questions? This is going to be a short meeting. We'll be able to give you some time back. So last, we have the good of the order. So this past month, Bob was able to acquire flowers through the MWCURC, and then a group of us from the board were able to plant them by the welcome sign. We had, Leanne and I, we had Brian and Margot, we had Chase, we had Gary, we had Jack. We had a lot of people there. If I'm missing anybody, I apologize, but I think the sign, or we were able to get a lot of weeding done, get a lot of flowers planted, and I think the sign looks a lot better now. All right.
Shout out to Parkwood themselves. They actually cleaned the area first.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, and then also a shout out to the park board, as Bob's saying, as they were able to clean the area out first. I also want to give a shout out to Mark, as a lot of you guys, if you were here last month, we voted to contribute money to landscaping, to hire somebody to landscape the business district. We entered a contract with Mark, and he has gotten started, and he has done a really good job. And our business district is looking a lot better. It has a lot less weeds and things, it's looking much more maintained. All right, and now are we able to get a motion to adjourn?
I have something else.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I'm going back to Waseego and Beachmont, and I know our discussion last month, and I don't want to change any work that's being done on what the other gentleman had asked about, but, and I know that the man spoke, there's never going to be anything that happens on Beachmont because it's a state road, and then as I was driving over Beachmont, going over the speed bumps, they do recognize our concerns, and the speed bumps are there. So I have submitted the letter that several of us signed last month to 311. I will tell you, that is not an easy application to work. I couldn't get it to an attachment to it. I thought, okay, I'll take a picture. It didn't go to like my photo at all. I don't know how to work it. I'm not great, but I'm not stupid about it either. So, that would be something I would ask. But I think it's a really concern for us, for people coming, going east on Beachmont. If we're trying to turn into Waseego, there's not a light. Even when we turn our signals on, I mean, they're up when you're in your back seat before they stop. When you're going west, it's always like, okay, I'm gonna watch to see, and you're watching more in your rear view mirror than you are, to turn, which isn't safe either. So I would really ask that the council, I can give you the number of my 311, But I really would like the council to back us up on this request to have the Department of Transportation look at it and see what's going on because it is not safe. Thank you.
Absolutely. Oh, got someone here.
I have one comment about the letter that the Mt.Washington Community Council wrote, because we had our lawyer write a letter to go to city council and CDC and various city departments, and including the community council here, just saying, no one's listening. That was the point of that letter, because even in January, or when was it, February 2025, when the community council sent the initial letter, or CDC sent it to Cincinnati City Council, no response, crickets, nothing. And so we even met with Seaver with our lawyer, was it April or so? I mean, we were gonna do it at the meeting, and then community council recommended we meet with them privately in this room first. And we did that, and we had the lawyer then, it was just questions, we're trying to protect the biggest investment of our lives, okay? And I felt like your letter, I don't even know who was concerned about it. I mean, it was kind of a slap in the face saying, well, we're not really supporting our community people, who some are seniors, and we are tax-paying citizens. It's like, we're just hanging out to dry. I mean, we kind of know it's a done deal, but the fact no one on the face of this earth is listening to anything we've had to say is just kind of crappy. That's all.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I'm sorry if it was perceived that way. What had happened was we had, like I said, someone had complained to the board because they thought the letter was on behalf of the board because it was added there. I understand that it wasn't. And that's where there was a vote that was made to clarify exactly what had happened, rather than to say, we weren't saying that anything you had done was wrong. That's where in the letter we tried to say that you had to have gone through the proper channels by working with us and bringing up the concern here, and that's where we wrote the letter to go out there. So it definitely wasn't to say that any of you reaching out was inappropriate. We do respect those concerns. I definitely understand. Yeah, like landslides are a major issue in Cincinnati and in our neighborhood as well. And unfortunately, yes, when they do happen, insurance isn't covering them, and it is a very big financial disaster. And so I don't want to minimize that whatsoever. I'm unsure what to do at this point, just because we have gone through a lot of those hoops to try and send out the letter. And so if we have an actionable item, you can definitely put it up for a motion, and we can take that action as well. If anyone has any idea of any actions that they want to take, we can absolutely discuss that. Personally, I just don't know of something that I can do to forward that, I guess. But if you do have anything that you want us to do, let us know that those actions. We can absolutely discuss those here as well. And then I do want to make sure that we didn't miss. You had made the request for our backing. Is there any particular motion that you want to put forward, or any action that you're asking from on our community council's behalf specifically?
I'll make a motion that we request that the transportation, Department of Transportation, that they come out, and what we would like, as we talked, is a light. We know that would cause having to have a turn lane, but that would be our goal, that they would do that.
So would that be, I guess, a motion to, you said you had the 311 request, so that we can write a letter in support of that 311 request? Would that be kind of what you're saying?
Anything that would push this along more. And I, not lived in Cincinnati long enough to know what that trigger is, but
Yeah.
if you tell me, and I can make the motion. just our neighborhood, but I think it affects all of Mt.Washington, because of people coming into Mt.Washington and leaving, and it's an intersection, and it's not safe.
Yeah, absolutely. So, once again, the city has a small budget for these things, and it's hard for them to allocate everything. So with that being said, we definitely want to put our support behind this. And so, I guess, that's what we'll put forward as a motion. If you are able to email forward the information with that 311 request to us, we can write a letter in support of that. Can we get a second? All right, we have a second, and then we'll do a vote on it, all four.
You have to say their names.
Oh,
Nancy. Oh,
Nancy and, I'm sorry,
Cindy
Cindy Sheets.
SCH.
And then, everybody for the motion? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Oh, was that an abstention or no, Bob? No, okay, all right. All right,
Thank you.
absolutely. Was there anything else that we wanted to discuss before we adjourn? So one recommendation I also want to make, so when you do have these concerns where you want to make a motion forward, if you email us ahead of time, that way we're able to put it on the agenda. Obviously, today's a nice short meeting, so it's easy to fit that in. Sometimes our meetings are not quite as short, so it's always good to be able to have that on the agenda beforehand, so that way we make sure that nothing slips through the cracks. Absolutely, thank you very much. And can we get a motion to adjourn? All right, thank you, Teddy. Well, thanks, everyone. Like I said, today was a shorter meeting, so we'll give you some time back.